Different things have been happening in the past couple of years. We've seen some great things happen. When 2025 started, it seemed like it was a year for joy. And honestly, it was a year for joy. We saw a lot of childbirth. We saw a lot of marriages. And it seemed like that trickled down from 2024, and it was such a great year. However, we also saw some terrible things happen in 2025 and in the past years. In view of one of the most recent happenings in our world, in our social space, I have gone to dig at some of the most shocking celebrity death we've experienced for the past couple of years. And I have collected, not like by virtue of, oh, this is the most important or the least important, but just for the sake of this video, these are some of the deaths that shocked us so much. There are some deaths that even got international recognition, so to say, because of how shocking and how much uproar it caused in the Nigerian space. Basically, Nigerian celebrities who we lost in the past years, whose deaths have shocked us the most. I feel like I've explained that enough. Now, let's get into the video. Of course, I'll be waiting for you in the comment section. Let's talk about it. If I missed somebody out, if you feel like, oh, there is a particular incident that happened that I missed out, you can let me know about it. And I'm going to start from one that personally did something to me, right? And that is the passing of Mohbad. This man's passing is still much talked about. Almost every week, at least a social media blog will carry a news concerning what is happening currently with Mohbad Ilerioluwa Aloba, who passed away in 2023. It's been 2 years now since we lost the international world acclaimed, Nigerian superstar rapper singer Mohbad. Until tomorrow, his body has not been laid into the ground after he was exhumed. His circumstance is even the circumstances surrounding his death is still one that is mysterious. And up till now, we don't have a genuine course of action concerning his passing. Now, there's some other persons who passed and like, oh, this was health related. Oh, this person slumped. This person just did not wake up. We'll still get into that. But Mohbad's own was under suspicious circumstances. And up until now, a lot of persons have involved themselves in the case. Some people have involved themselves. They've removed themselves. But we are still yet to get headway 2 years after his passing, and his death caused so much uproar among the youth because this man was just 27 years old. And of course, while he was even here, he had a lot of challenges. His record label, his past record label, his past boss, his friends, everybody. It seemed like the world was sort of working against Mohbad in a way, even up until his passing. And it's still very sad that up till now we don't have any lead as to what happened to him. Like genuinely what happened to him. There's been several stories round. There's been several assumptions and allegations, fingers pointed, investigations done, but we still do not have a conclusive result, and his body is still in a morgue somewhere, not laid to rest. Which I just hope that this year, before his 30th anniversary, because he died on the 10th of September 2023, hopefully before the 10th of September 2026, there will be a conclusion on his passing and his body will eventually be laid to rest. Anyways, moving on from Mohbad, as sad as this case was, another death we experienced in 2023 came earlier on before Mohbad's own in September, and that was Murphy Afolabi. Honestly, this is also I feel like his colleagues might not have recovered from his death because he was a good man to them. Lots of persons still have good things to say about him up until tomorrow. This man passed on the 14th of May 2023. He was age 49. He's from Oshogbo in Osun State, but he died in Lagos. Apparently, he slumped and he passed on. According to the story, he was getting out of his bathroom or something like that, and then he slumped and he hit his head, and that was the end for him. Somebody that had plans. Some of his colleagues, I remember when it happened, I remember where I was when I heard the news that Murphy Afolabi had passed on, right? And I remember how everybody there were stunned. We don't know him personally. I never knew him personally, but a lot of persons were stunned because how 1 minute you're full of life, the next minute you fall down and you don't get up. And just like that, you've lost your life. One of the most shocking ones is Murphy Afolabi's death. And it was buried in the Islamic way. And of course, in Islam, they say, oh, if someone owes you money before he passed on, you have to pay the money to the family. If he's hurt you, you have to forgive, and all of those things. And so after it's passed, a lot of, oh, if Mafia Falabi owed you, or if you hold him, no, not if he owes you, not if the deceased owes you. It is if you owe the deceased money, you have to pay. And because of his job, was a director, producer, actor, scriptwriter, so many things to so many people. His money was outside, and so I remember there was a lot of brouhaha concerning that. If even a particular actress, like, oh, you owed this man money, you have to pay the money, and then she has to bring receipt to say, no, myself and him finalized our deal. There's no money owed anybody, and all of those interesting things that happened after his demise, as shocking as his death was. In fact, there was a particular actor that was like, oh, both of us have this sort of group where they put money together, like a money pool kind of situation, and we're like, oh, we're supposed to get money, and because of how sudden it was, there were a lot of plans that were not met. There were a lot of films, there were a lot of things I was supposed to do, but he was unable to do because of how sudden his death was. He wasn't sick, he didn't have ailments, nothing was wrong with him prior. He just fell down and never stood up. Another death that shocked us, similar to what happened with Murphy Afolabi, happened after. And the interesting thing with this lady was, before she passed on, a lot of persons had not seen her on screen, and we've asked questions like, oh, where's Adejumoke? Yes, I'm talking about Adejumoke Aderonmu. Her death also caused some things on the internet, as shocking as it was. In fact, her younger brother came out to accuse actress Funke Akindele of neglecting his sister. Apparently, before she passed on, she wasn't doing well financially, right? And she had not been getting jobs for a while. Her last famous job was the movie that featured Rita Dominic, La Femme Angela, and it did well. The movie did well, and that was like her last major production, right? That major production that she was involved with, and she was a cast member, right? And we didn't see her afterwards. Even the promotion of the movie and all that, we didn't really see her. So apparently she fell on hard times, she wasn't getting calls, and her brother alleged after her passing that Adejumoke reached out to Jennifer, that's when Kaknil, because she had featured in Jennifer's Diary as Esther, and so they had a rocking relationship. She tried to reach Funkagdele through another cast member of Jennifer's Diary, Pascaline. And Funke just had to come back to say nobody informed me that there was something wrong with Adejumoke, because according to the brother, she wanted to know if she had hurt Funke in any way, if there's a reason why she's not getting jobs, so that she would make comments and she would get jobs. In fact, Jide Awobono said the last time they spoke, this lady was like, oh, she's not really, even Deyemi Okonlawon attested to the fact that she reached out to people to say, I'm not doing well, I would not mind any help I can get. Like, I don't want you guys to give me me down of money and all that, but let me do what I know how to do. Let me work. So if you have a job, please call me. Let me work so I can make ends meet. But unfortunately, that did not happen for her, because on the 6th of April 2024, at just 40 years old, Adejumoke Aderomu slept and did not wake up. So you could say maybe she died of maybe a lonely heart, or maybe she was just depressed and it led to her demise. We actually don't know what happened, because she wasn't sick. Nothing was majorly wrong with her. She just slept and she never woke up. Maybe a broken heart even. She just slept and she never woke up. And that was another death that stunned us, because we had not seen her, yes, but we just assumed she was doing fine. I mean, we just assumed she was well, right? It's not like all those celebrities that maybe they fall on hard times, they come online and they request for help, and then we are able to help them and follow up. She didn't do that. So it's painful that she's gone, but that is another death that has, that shocked us when it happened, and that was 2024. Someone else's whose death also occurred in 2024, 1st of March 2024. Bear in mind that Adejumoke went 6th of April 2024, but like less than a month before, we heard that Sisi Quadri died. Sisi Quadri. Tolani Quadri Ibamiji. He was 44 years old when he passed, and he passed after dealing with a brief ailment. There was a video of him after his demise. A video trended of him in the hospital, coughing. Apparently, he had just gone there to report discomfort and coughing, and he wasn't feeling too well, and he went there for treatment, but apparently they didn't really treat him and things were happening. So the last video we saw of him in actually talking was him calling out the clinic saying, why are you guys not attending to me? This is what is wrong with me. This is what you guys are doing. This is what you guys are giving me. I'm not being attended to properly. And that was the last of him before he died, which is quite sad, because he was able to walk and talk and advocate for himself before all of a sudden everything just turned for the worse, and he eventually passed on. A lot of persons felt like Sisi Quadri passed just at the wake of his international recognition, because when he died was when they released Anikulapo, Rise of the Scepter, which is like the second part to the very well-known Anikulapo movie, right? And it was like, oh, this man is just getting Netflix recognition, is just getting major deals, major brands, because his character is he was kind of typecasted when he was here, right? So it felt like it was getting to play other roles, other characters, and just really do well in his career. And it was, time for people to actually know him beyond the Ibadan man who can abuse and talk in movies, and he just passed on. And that was what even made it sadder for most, because like, oh, I just saw him in this movie and he passed in the movie, only for me to come online and realize that he had passed in real life. So it was just too much for a lot of persons, and that is one of the most shocking deaths of 2024. Another person that passed, but he passed in 2022, was Dejotun Kunle Adetokunbo. I added him because, yes, he was one of our legends, people that we've been seeing since forever. And he was in his 50s, was supposed to be in the position where, oh, now you're just flexing, now you're a legend, they call you for movies, and you can just give them any amount. And, when you get on a set, our legends, now how we will treat people that we watched growing up, people that new age producers will treat them. That was when he was getting there. Unfortunately, he had been battling kidney disease, and his family members said they were not even aware that he was battling such illness. So when he fell ill temporarily, when he just fell ill briefly, they did not know that he had an underlying ailment. So they were just treating him for malaria and low blood. They said his PCV was 18. So they had to do blood transfusions, 2 blood transfusions. He could not walk. He was paralyzed. And so his children were kind of like, what happened to you between, yesterday and today? You're just terrible. Like, your health is just going down drastically. Apparently, he had been managing his kidney ailments privately. Before you know what happened, he didn't stay up to 24 hours in the hospital, and he gave up the ghost, which made it even shocking, because people did not know he was sick. So people were not able to rally around while he was here. So it was a shocking death. So it was only Adetokunbo Dejotun Fulu. One that happened that shocked me, Rachel Oniga. I know you might have forgotten her, but this woman passed in 2021. Like Mafia Folabi, I remember where I was when I heard the news that Rachel Oniga had passed. I was walking on the street and I stood there shocked. I was looking at my phone like, because I received the message to say Rachel Oniga had passed, and I was like, what? My village people just came out, Bobby's movie. She just featured in the movie. She was ill, she was early, and they just heard that she had been battling heart-related ailment, and she gave up. That was in 2021. I remember that was one of the ones that did me like, what? She was 64, which is sad, because I don't know. Now she should be in the range of them, Shola Shobowale, milking with all of them and just living the soft life. But it's okay. God knows best, right? One that happened that now birthed this video is All Well Ademola. Tell me why 1 minute you posted, oh, I hope to see the end of the year. 1 minute you had a Christmas event with your band members that you had formed since 2002. People were singing and thanking God for getting you to see the end of the year 2025. Only for you to not finish year 2025. What irony. Our last post on our Instagram page was her singing and saying, hopefully she sees the end of the year. And people are like, was she foretelling? Did she know? Did she feel? Did she have a premonition? Did something, what pushed her to release? Because the content was something like, oh, happy-go-lucky girl. It was a very casual content that she put out. And that happened to be the last one, and such a notable and remarkable post for it to be the end of our journey, because on the 27th of December 2025, Allwell Ademola passed in the hospital. Apparently, she complained of heart issues, her chest pains and all that. They took her to the hospital. It's heart attack, let's try and revive and all of those things, but she did not see the end of 2025. She passed on. Her body has since been laid to rest in January of 2026, and it's one of the shocking ones because our colleagues are still talking about it, saying how, and that's like a question that some shocking incidents, leave us with. They're just like, how? Not even why, more like, we had plans, we had things to do, you had things to do, so like, just how? But in all of this, we submit to the sovereignty of God, because you have to come back to say, oh, God is faithful, right? Regardless of your religion or whatever you practice, you have to come back to say, oh, our God is faithful, even though you're asking him how. But yes, guys, I feel like these are some of the most shocking celebrity deaths that we got in the past years, and I just had to bring it back. Because when you're talking about, oh, this one pained me, I still have not recovered from Mafia for Labi's zone. I was seeing it on the internet. I still sometimes I still refer to their just death. Sometimes I refer to Sisi Quadri's death, and now Allwell has happened. Like, what is happening among us? It seems like their death is just sort of unexpected. There's some persons that were ill for a long time, like Mr. Ibu now, he was sick for a long time. There's been several news of his passing, and they're coming to debunk it before he eventually passed. I'm like, oh yeah, we it was still shocking, it was still a sad event, but nevertheless, our heart had somehow been prepared. But these people shocked us to the bone marrow. If I missed anybody, you can let me know in the comment section. And if you agree with me, you can also let me know in the comment section. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like it if you enjoyed it. Share with family and friends. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do so. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.